Emma woke me at 4:47 a.m., crying. Not her usual complaint about homework, crying. Real pain, Mom, my stomach. Right here. She pressed her hand to her lower right side, face pale in the hallway light. I'd been a nurse for 8 years before opening the warehouse. I knew what appendicitis looked like. We were in the car by 5:15. The ER doctor confirmed it at 7:30 a.m. CT scan showed acute appendicitis, inflamed but not ruptured yet. We need to get her into surgery today, Dr. Patricia Moore said, reviewing the images. Appendix looks angry. I'd say we have a 12 to 18-hour window before perforation becomes a serious risk. How soon can we do it? I can have an OR ready by 2 this afternoon. I just need insurance authorization. She handed me the forms. Standard emergency procedure. Your insurance company should approve within the hour. I pulled out my phone to call them, then stopped. The insurance. The family plan. My father was still the primary policyholder. An arrangement from my divorce 3 years ago that I'd never bothered changing because it saved me $400 a month. Dad had insisted on keeping me and Emma covered, said it was what family did. I should have known everything came with strings. I called him at 8 a.m. from the surgical consultation room. Emma needs an appendectomy. They need insurance authorization. Silence on the other end. Then I'll be right there. Dad, you can just call the insurance company. I'll be right there. He hung up. My father arrived at 9:30 with my brother Michael and sister Jennifer. Not Mom. I noticed that immediately. Where's Emma? Dad asked. Upstairs in pre-op. They're monitoring her pain levels. Good. Let's talk in the cafeteria. Dad, I need to get back to her. This won't take long. If you're reasonable. Michael touched my arm. Come on, Lisa. Just hear him out. I followed them downstairs, that familiar sick feeling in my stomach. The one I'd gotten every time Dad called a family meeting about the warehouse. The cafeteria was nearly empty at mid-morning. Dad chose a corner table, spread out a manila folder like he was setting up for a business presentation. Inside were documents I'd seen before. Sale agreement, property transfer forms. All made out to Michael. Your brother needs this opportunity, Dad said, ordering a coffee like we had all the time in the world. The warehouse is too much for you to manage alone. I've been managing it fine for 6 years. You're exhausted all the time. Emma needs more attention. Michael can take over, run it properly, and you can focus on being a mother. I looked at Michael. He wouldn't meet my eyes. The answer is still no. Dad's jaw tightened. Then I can't authorize the surgery. The words hung there. What? I'm the policyholder, Lisa. The insurance company needs my approval for any procedures. I'm not giving it until you sign these papers. Jennifer gasped. Dad, you can't be serious. Stay out of this. He didn't look at her. Lisa, you have until this afternoon to decide. Sign over the warehouse to Michael, and I'll make one phone call. Emma gets her surgery. Everyone wins. Her appendix could rupture. Then I suggest you make the right choice. I went back upstairs shaking. Emma was awake, groggy from pain medication, watching cartoons on the room TV. When's my surgery, Mom? Soon, baby. Soon. The nurse came in at 11 o'clock to check vitals. Dr. Moore wants to start pre-op prep. Has the insurance authorization come through? Still waiting on a call. She frowned but didn't push. At 11:45, Dr. Moore stopped by herself. Mrs. Harrison, I need that authorization. We're running out of time to keep the OR slot. I'm working on it. Working on it. It's a standard emergency procedure. What's the delay? I couldn't say it. Couldn't admit that my father was holding my daughter's surgery hostage. Dr. Moore's eyes narrowed. Where's your father? The policyholder. Downstairs. In the cafeteria. Still. He's been here for 2 hours. We're discussing something. What could possibly be more important than authorizing your daughter's emergency surgery? I didn't answer. Dr. Moore left without another word. At 12:30, the anesthesiologist came up. Young guy, maybe 30, with Emma's chart in hand. Hi Emma. I'm Dr. Patel. I'll be making sure you sleep really well during your surgery. He smiled at her, then turned to me. We're scheduled for 2 o'clock. Just need that final authorization to get started. I know. Great. I'll see you in 90 minutes, Emma. After he left, Emma looked at me. Mom, is something wrong? No, sweetheart. Everything's fine. But my hands were shaking. At 1:15 I couldn't take it anymore. I went back down to the cafeteria. Dad was still there. He'd ordered lunch. A sandwich sat half-eaten beside the unsigned documents. Time's running out, he said when he saw me. She's in pain, Dad. Real pain. Then sign. The warehouse is worth $2 million. You're asking me to give it away. I'm asking you to put family first. Michael needs this. You're being selfish. Michael shifted uncomfortably. Lisa, maybe we could work out a payment plan. Shut up, Michael. Dad snapped. She signs it over clean, or the deal's off. I stared at the papers, at my daughter's future, at 6 years of work building that business from the ground up. I need time to think. You have 45 minutes. Dr. Moore found me in the hallway outside the cafeteria at 1:30. Mrs. Harrison. Her voice was ice. Your daughter is asking why she hasn't gone to surgery yet. What do I tell her? I'm trying to. I went downstairs. I saw your father, with business documents. My face must have confirmed everything. He's withholding authorization to force you to sign something. I nodded, unable to speak. Dr. Moore's expression shifted from anger to something harder. Professional fury. Come with me. She took me to an office on the 3rd floor. Hospital administration. Inside, she made 3 phone calls. 5 minutes later, 4 people entered the room. Dr. Raymond Torres, Ethics Committee Chair. Janet Reeves, Hospital Legal Counsel. Maria Santos, Patient Advocate. And someone from Social Services whose name I didn't catch. Dr. Moore laid it out in 2 minutes. 10-year-old patient with acute appendicitis. Grandfather is primary insurance policy holder. He's refusing to authorize emergency surgery unless the patient's mother signs over a commercial property to her brother. He's been sitting in our cafeteria for 4 hours with sale documents, while his granddaughter waits upstairs in pain. The silence in the room was absolute. Janet Reeves spoke first. That's coercion using a child's medical emergency. Potentially criminal. Dr. Torres, we have emergency override protocols for exactly this situation. Can we do that without the policyholder? Dr. Moore asked. When a child's welfare is being compromised for non-medical reasons, absolutely. The hospital assumes financial responsibility. We'll deal with insurance later. Maria Santos was already typing. I'm filing an immediate report with Child Protective Services. This is textbook medical neglect. The social services rep. I'll need to interview the grandfather and the mother separately. This triggers mandatory reporting requirements. Dr. Torres.
Up story.
Dr. Moore, prep your patient. Surgery proceeds at 2 o'clock as scheduled. Mrs. Harrison, you don't need to sign anything. Your daughter is getting her appendix removed. I started crying, just completely broke down. Maria came around the desk and hugged me. You did the right thing. You protected your business and your daughter by not giving in. But if you hadn't, we wouldn't have let it get that far. We were already discussing intervention when Dr. Moore called. At 1:50, Dr. Torres, Janet Reeves, and 2 security guards walked into the cafeteria. I watched from the doorway. Mr. Robert Harrison, Dr. Torres' voice carried across the room. Dad looked up. Yes. I'm Dr. Torres, chair of hospital ethics. Your granddaughter is being prepped for surgery right now. I didn't authorize. We invoked emergency medical protocol. The hospital is proceeding without your authorization because you've been using a child's health emergency to coerce a business transaction. Dad's face went red. You can't do that. Janet Reeves stepped forward. We not only can, Mr. Harrison, we're legally required to when a child's welfare is being compromised. You've been reported to Child Protective Services and local police for child endangerment. Michael stood up fast. This is insane. We were just talking. You were present while your father withheld medical authorization for a child's emergency surgery to force your sister to sign over property. That makes you a witness to coercion at minimum. Jennifer had gone pale. I didn't know he was actually going to stop the surgery. I thought he was just, I didn't know. Dr. Torres turned back to Dad. You're not permitted in the surgical wing. Security will escort you from the building. You'll be notified when your granddaughter is in recovery. You can't keep me from. We can. We are. And we have legal authority to do so. Officers from the Philadelphia Police Department are on their way to take your statement. The surgery took 90 minutes. I sat in the waiting room with Jennifer. Michael had left with Dad. Mom had called 3 times, but I couldn't answer. Dr. Moore found me at 3:45. We got it just in time. The appendix was inflamed and starting to show early signs of microperforation. Another 6 to 8 hours and we'd have been dealing with peritonitis. Emma's going to be absolutely fine. I couldn't stop thanking her. Thank Dr. Torres, and yourself, for not signing those papers under duress. Emma woke up at 5:30, groggy but smiling. Mom, is it over? All done, baby. You were so brave. Where's Grandpa? He had to leave. But Aunt Jennifer's here. Jennifer brought flowers, sat with us until visiting hours ended. Before she left, she hugged me tight. I'm so sorry. I had no idea he'd actually do it. Withhold the surgery. I thought he was bluffing. He wasn't. I know that now. The detective came the next morning. Young woman, serious expression. Recording device on the table. She took my statement, Emma's doctor's statement, reviewed the timeline. Your father's been charged with reckless endangerment of a minor and attempted coercion. The DA thinks we have a strong case. What happens now? He'll be arraigned. There'll be a hearing. Child Services is recommending supervised visitation only between him and your daughter. And the insurance. The State Insurance Commission has opened an investigation into abuse of policyholder authority. His insurance agent license is under review. 4 days later, I took Emma home. She was sore but healing, talking about going back to school next week. My lawyer called that afternoon. The Ethics Committee's report is damning. Detailed timeline. Multiple witnesses. Your father delayed a medical emergency for 4 hours to extort a business deal. Will he go to jail? Possibly. But even if he doesn't, his reputation is destroyed. The insurance board will likely suspend his license. Your mother filed for separation this morning. I looked out my window at the warehouse across the parking lot. The business I'd built. The business I'd almost lost. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Lisa, please, drop the charges. I'll never mention the warehouse again. Please. I deleted it. Another text. My lawyer. CPS final recommendation. Protective order. No unsupervised contact with minor. Hearing scheduled Tuesday 10 a.m. I looked at Emma, asleep on the couch with her stuffed elephant. The phone rang. The detective. I answered. Mrs. Harrison, we need to discuss your father's statement. He's claiming you misunderstood his intentions. We'd like you to come in tomorrow to review the recorded timeline. I'll be there. I hung up and opened my laptop. The warehouse quarterly reports were due. Business didn't stop. My business. Still mine. Emma stirred, smiled in her sleep. Outside, the warehouse lights came on as the evening shift started. Everything I'd built, everything I'd protected. I got to work.